we had a democracy, even though we clearly didn't. That's part of our history. That's part of, we're going to use race to undermine democracy for some, and we're going to give racial privileges to those who may not have other privileges, particularly economic, but they wake up every day, as one of the farmers in my article says, and says, thank God I'm white. So whiteness is material. It's not biological. It is material, and it's partly produced by law. So this back and forth is happening again in the United States. Now they're called MAGA. MAGA is the redeemers of the 21st century. To be honest, I don't direct most of my work towards them. I direct my work towards that faction that allowed the redeemers to come back to power. I direct my writing to moderates and liberals and progressives and leftists. They're telling me that the problem is critical race theory. The problem is intersectionality. The problem is these frameworks that tell the truth about what is happening, right? And bow to the assumption that we cannot organize with the truth being at the center of our organizing. What completely shocks me is even within our own movements, even within our racial justice movements, our gender justice movements, and so on, there is a tepidness around calling out the rise of white Christian nationalism and all of its many tributaries. It's sort of like we don't need to call a thing. My life tells me if you don't call a thing, if you don't have the names for that thing, you can't transform it. You can't organize about things that you can't name and can't talk about. It's not like trust us. We'll come back around for you on the next round. People never come back to pick you up. So I saw the attack on critical race theory as precisely that. It was an effort to discredit the entire progressive agenda of the 20th century, the laws that came out of the blood, sweat, and tears, the actual struggle, the lost lives, the policies, the practices, but most importantly, the moral imperative. So when they go after the idea of being awake, being aware, being conscious, when they say that is woke and that's a bad thing, what they are telling you is the very imperative, the moral argument, the idea that we can't live in a modern society and accept these rigid hierarchies as the only way things can be. What they are doing is to tell you to put down your arms, your consciousness, your desire for a better world to get behind them. So they are on brand. They told us, we want to go back to the time before we had to listen to any of y'all. Because those were the good old days. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to attack your history. We're going to attack your presence in institutions. We're going to attack the very language you use to define the problem. And so they've been on brand and they've been successful. Our problem is we haven't met them on the battlefield in the way they've shown up on the battlefield. So when they're going after our ideas and our history, and we say, well, maybe we'll just pivot. Or maybe they're more important fish to fry. People don't go after things that aren't important. They don't try to take something away from you that doesn't have value. They don't try to demoralize you unless you're being morally determined to seek ends that are more inclusive and democratic, unless that was an important ingredient in clawing our way back to the democracy that we think that we have a right to. So if they're coming after it, that's all the more reason that we have got to defend these ideas, these practices, these commitments more than ever. This is my friend Barbara Arnold always says,
Lord, Dr. Lee. My question is in regards to the relationship between teachers and black girls in school. I see that there's not a lot of solidarity. I'm a mum, and my daughters receive a lot of racism, and I am teaching them to be the back talkers that you're telling us to be, but they're finding it very, very difficult, even with our own black teachers in the schools. So I just wanted to know what kind of encouragement you can give us in regards to that. I think it's very difficult. Exclusions are being weaponized against our daughters in schools, and also intelligence gathering when we're referred to social services when we are trying to defend them as well. So I wanted to find out what your opinion on that is. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Who's got the mic next? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, thank you very, very much. That was incredible. I wanted to ask you, you said you still believe in the we. And that's obviously been quite a rocky journey along the way. And given where we are now, I want to ask you how you hang on to the we, how you still believe in it, and how we can do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I actually didn't need to pass the mic. Go on, we'll take those quickly. If you're quick, and we'll try and ask them. Go on, thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Crenshaw. I'm sure that this might resonate with other academics in the room. You've been transformative in terms of, I think, reshaping for some of us younger academics trying to do academia and activism, and what that means. You mentioned safe learning and being, so central to that. As somebody that works in that space, I was wondering if you could comment a bit on what it means to be an activist and an academic, and also how our objectivity gets questioned. So I work a lot with race and health as a doctor and academia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. My question, I think, is a simple one, an honest one. So I work in EDI, and I want to know, how do you hold your calm when you're speaking to people that are so opposed to your views?
And so I want to say, before we get started, one of the amazing things about this book tour is that I've been blessed with conversations with fellow back talkers who join me in talking about these questions. So let's go through these.
Okay.
You have a black daughter. I was one, so I'll start with what my mom used to do and pass it off to what you do. So my mom went to the school so often that I was embarrassed. My mom, I will never forget the one that stands out the most to me was she went to the school when she found out that I was being tracked in just above vocational training, and